Welcome back across all space and time in hope and peace into a section of the world where it all matters because all things are Star Trek. I'm talking about the group here in the Captain's Quadrant. I'm Joe Dub, and welcome back to Spectrum Sanctorum Star Trek show. We are so excited to be joined with Navia. How are you, my friend?
I'm good.
And our chief has returned, Ernesto. Welcome back,
The
Chief.
chief is here.
Yes. Welcome back.
Thank you,
You're going to
you.
notice that our faces have changed, but we're still the same humans, and no shuttle pod accident could ever
No.
change our souls. We are wishing Nita a very speedy recovery as she has caught a unearthly virus from Riser 3. You party too hard over there, you're going to pick up something. And of course,
As long as it's not the phage.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we are missing both Jasons because both of them are on special operations. Mr. Gaston from Texas is in Japan because he is big in Japan. So he, of course, sends his well wishes as always.
Yes, he reached number 3 in Japan.
Yeah, number 3. Yeah. And of course, our maestro, our man behind the curtain, our number one guy, the boss himself, Mr. Hatswell, the commander. He's out doing something. But he did return Teddy. I was super excited to get him back.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So in case you're wondering, we're going to hop right into that because it's been missing and I always thought it was cute. So... Yes, Teddy was sent back to me, and he's missing already because he took my car, and I don't know where he or the car is. So hopefully, I'll get both back. So that was your Yeah.
Hopefully the cops don't get Teddy. I don't know. He doesn't have a license or anything.
Yeah, right. I mean, I just hope he could reach the pedals because he took the car off. I don't know how far, but I do know that he went to the convention with us. We had a great time. We went to the Contropolis this weekend, and of course, we had to say hello to our friend, and we interviewed Stephanie Chavatsky, who was T'Preen in Star Trek Picard. And Teddy had a good old time with her. And then Teddy went to the dark side and would hang out with all the people in the Star Wars section. And I'm like, Teddy, what are you doing in the wrong uniform? And of course, no day would be complete without seeing more people from the Star Wars universe. And you're like, wait, Teddy. But then we went right back to Star Trek to make sure everything went copacetic. And we met the wonderful Q, which was awesome. John DeLance himself, who my mom had a big crush on when I was a kid. So... there's that.
John Delancey is a great guy. There is an urban legend about John Delancey on the Star Trek cruise that he is notorious for coming to the buffet at midnight after the show is let out. And he will just walk up to random people and say, "Is this seat taken?" And he will sit down and eat with them. It's not happened to us on any of the 3 cruises that we've been on, but I had shared drinks with Casey Biggs and and Jeff Combs.
Oh, that's awesome!
Wow,
that is awesome.
Yeah, they're great guys.
All right, so we're here actually to talk about Star Trek. So
believe it or not,
so let us we have a whole pod based on it. So let us hop into the synopsis. Strange New Worlds, episode 5 in season 2. This is Charades, which makes a lot of sense once you get into the episode. Spock gets a fascinating lesson in humanity, a shuttle accident, and an encounter with a strange alien life form turns Spock completely human ahead of an important dinner. Yeah, very wild. So we're going to go right into our very fun first contact. Thanks. Ernesto, I hope you were expecting a Lobo. All right, Ernesto, you're our guest this week. Please tell us what your first impressions of the episode were.
Well, first impressions of the episode. Okay, I guess I should go in chronological order.
No, it's just an overall.
No, whatever order.
Overall, yeah, quick.
From the previews, I was expecting a lot more comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting this to be written by Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah.
Because the way they set it up, it just looked like hijinks galore.
Mm-hmm.
And there were, and it was great. The jokes were hysterical. Even the subtleties of Pike walking up with the tray and then seeing that they're arguing and just turning around.
Those are great.
If that doesn't become a GIF and a meme, then there's something wrong with this fandom. But all in all, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Same.
It gave you laughs and it gave you feels, and it progressed the story where we know it's all going to go. We know what's going to happen in those old scientists. We know where their Spock and T'Pring's relationship is going to end up.
Yeah.
So this is a good lead-in. Will we see more of T'Pring? I certainly hope so.
Oh.
As far as her parents,
we have an amazing special guest. Hold on.
Jason on the street.
I thought you were on your Section 31 mission. And he froze. Welcome to freezing.
I guess the Wi-Fi in Japan isn't as good as we hear.
Oh.
Hi, what's up?
What's up, pal?
Oh.
We can hear you.
I'm lost. Help. Where am I?
You're in Japan.
I was on my way to Pizza Hut. I don't know where I am.
You're out in the street. What did you think of the episode since you're here?
My signal is very very bad. I just wanted to pop in and say hi. I'm not dead. They're not replacing me that I know of. I love the episode. I thought it was great. It was cute, and it had a really deep meaning. And I love you guys, and I'll see y'all soon.
We love you, Jason.
Bye.
We can't wait to your
Love you,
return.
Jason.
But have a blast, and you enjoy it because you deserve every moment of fun.
Oh yeah. I do. I really do.
I need one. I need to add one to my collection.
I'll see if I can get that through airport security.
Just buy a ticket, put it next to you on the plane like Kill Bill.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, we miss you, buddy.
All right, bye everybody.
Have fun.
Bye.
Take care, pal.
Take care. What a nice surprise.
That was very nice.
Yeah.
That was very nice and funny. That was a great surprise. Navia, your first contact with the episode.
Does Jason still try to say something?
No, that was it.
Okay, good.
He's just probably frozen and can't log off.
I see. Okay. I really enjoyed this episode. It was really nice to see Spock absolutely unhinged.
Yeah.
I know we saw him in Discovery unhinged, but this was definitely a different type of unhinged. I don't know what you guys thought, but I thought this episode definitely reminded me of like those 90s teen comedies. You know how they had Nerd and Turner Beautiful? Like, because you kind of like had the same kind of like scenes, right? Like giving them ears or like teaching them how to talk. Like, it definitely reminded me of those 90s teen comedies.
Absolutely.
It's fun you say that, Nadia. The actress who plays Amanda Grayson, Mia Kishner, is most known for a little movie called Not Another Teen Movie.
Oh,
I did not know that.
Look at that.
Yeah. This is a family-friendly show, so I won't mention any of the lines from it. It was rated R, but I highly suggest renting it on DVD because we're kind of against streamers right now.
Yeah. Save Prodigy. Yeah, save Prodigy.
But
for me,
you're 18 and older, right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. For me, I thought this was a fun episode. We got the monster-in-law experience from a Vulcan perspective, and I just felt that part was stellar to me. And we got some really cool graphics with a new alien that we've never seen before.
Oh yeah,
that was really cool to me as well.
Agreed.
So let us hop into pros and cons.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
All right, Navia, We're going to start with you. What was sometimes a maybe good and sometimes a maybe shit in this episode?
The good things, Ethan's Peck's comedic style, just absolutely amazing. His timing just on point. I don't know what else he's been in, but I think he did a really good job with all the comedy. Yeah. Also Amanda was amazing. I absolutely loved her in this episode. And then the aliens, what were they called? The Kirkvovians?
The Kirkva.
Oh, they were amazing. I hope we get to see more of those because I thought they were very, very interesting. The cons, did the Vulcans seem a little off to you guys? Like, like T'Pring's dad was kind of emotional at some points. Like, when what's his name? Captain Pike offers him food.
Savet.
Yeah. When Captain Pike offers him food, he got excited, and I was like, "That's not really Vulcan of him."
Yeah, and then, that's a good catch.
Yeah, and then there were points where T'Pring got towards the end got upset with Spock, and I'm like, "That's also not very Vulcan of her." Like these Vulcans had emotions, which was very weird to see.
Interesting. Go on.
Did you guys not catch that at all?
No, I'm like,
oh, okay.
Snap. Like I noticed him reacting to the food.
Yeah,
I was surprised that there's my man's ready to get some grub. This guy's just like me. I'd be like, oh, hey, what you cooking? Oh, delicious. And then, go ahead.
And T'Pring's mom, she showed a lot of animosity for a Vulcan. Like you could just see the hatred, and I'm like, this is so weird for a Vulcan because normally you can't read a Vulcan.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a poker game. They always have their poker face on. Totally true.
Yeah. Those are my pros and cons.
All right. Chief.
Well, let me preface this by saying I am so happy that Spock has finally admitted, and it's now canon, that Vulcans are jerks.
Oh, nice.
With the exception of Spock, I've always felt that Vulcans are jerks. And the word I use is another 4-letter word, plural, but I'll be nice. And it was most evident in Enterprise. Now, you would think that, which is funny because we saw it all leading up. And every time you saw a Vulcan, they were just, just more, standoffish than the other. And that Enterprise was the last show aired in the original playlist.
Right.
The fact that they kind of touched on that, and now it's really canon. So most Vulcans that we've seen since have lived up to that reputation. And T'Pring,
oh god,
T'Pring was the queen of mean. I understand she had to be written that way. She was written for you to hate her. I understand, and they did a great job. Savet, unfortunately, came off as a total cuck. He was like, everything he said, she immediately shot him down, said, "You're wrong." And, oh, yes, that's right, I am wrong.
Yeah.
It was terrible. My only nitpick, and it's kind of small, was, and I've read a lot of other things about this today, the Spock-Chapel relationship has been just rammed down our throats. Okay, let's just hope that, it's like moonlighting. For anyone who's old enough, I think I'm the only person old enough to remember seeing that show.
No, unfortunately, I've seen that show.
Okay. But will they, won't they, will they, won't they? Sam and Diane.
Yeah.
It's that trope I do understand. I understand why it needed to be done because of canon and where it leads into. But, okay, let's cool it for a while with this because, all right, now they have. Let's kind of pull them back a little bit. And let's focus on Mortegas for number one. We need Mortegas.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And my girl finally got to fly the ship.
Yes, fly the ship.
So, but the aliens, I wasn't all that crazy about.
Oh.
If they didn't want to contact, why would they leave a calling card?
Now,
go
ahead, Navia.
Well, they seemed very corporate for aliens. Like they wanted to make sure. They wanted to make sure they got a good customer service satisfaction survey.
23rd century yelp.
Yeah. Be sure you leave a good review. Thanks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I love how they're like, "Oh, you guys didn't like file a complaint within the appropriate time frame."
Yeah, I was like, what?
As someone who works with customer service, I was like, "This is too close to home. I can't handle this right now."
Oh man,
Joe.
Oh, so for me, my pros are the relationship between Pike and Spock's mom. Because when how's it going? Come on in. Yeah, we're gonna get this done. The injury is a little bit weird, but we're gonna make it. That he was trying his best to like help cover for Spock, and he was making the food. And like you said, this is definitely gonna be a meme when he has and his hair, of course. But he had the food, and they were like, "Oh!" And they started like going out, and goes, "Oh, never mind. Let me go back over here." I thought that was just fantastic. It was absolutely fun. But one of my biggest pros of this episode was the emotion that Nurse Chapel brought to the fray. I think her name is Miss Bush. I felt like Jess Bush.
Jess Bush.
She was incredible. She really played the, I'm trying to hold my feelings, and she told the guys, turn around. You know what I mean? Like, I really love that, and I thought that was very precious for this episode to get into that. And when you have that. So I'm a big Sting fan, and when you have one of my favorite songs by him was When We Dance, and that's about a love triangle. It's like the typical love story is I love you, you love me, and we're in love, and that's boring. I like the love story where it's like I love you, but you love her, and it bothers me. So, and I felt like that was exactly this. That she was the Sting character, and When We Dance, she was trying to like court Spock away, and she loved all those things, and she risked her life to get Spock back to what he was. I thought that was amazing. So my cons for this episode were they kept it very like in the ship and in that little like the vessel and the space alien, that virtual pod thing that they have. What is it called? The
VR wall.
The VR wall. Like they kept this whole episode in the VR wall. I felt like they didn't
you wanted more sets.
Yeah, no more sets. We gotta save the money. So I just felt like it was limited in that sense, even though it's a very cool thing, and especially the way the aliens look. But I have a question for Ernesto before I continue. Do you think the voice of the corporate space alien was Bonnie?
You know what? I can check IMDb. I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Because it sounded like a Prodigy ship, so I was wondering, is that Bonnie?
I was on IMDb earlier today, just so I could get the proper names and spelling of everyone. Okay, I don't have the app.
Who is Bonnie? Who?
Bonnie Gordon.
Gordon.
She's the voice of Prodigy ship. She's the voice of certain characters in Street Fighter 2. Street Fighter 6. I was going to say Street Fighter 2 Super Ultra Alpha because they just like did 2 forever and then turned it other numbers. But she does a lot of voiceover work, and she's like fantastic. She switches her voice like you wouldn't believe. Like we've seen it in person. And it was like, whoa, that's totally a different person than I was talking to 5 minutes ago. So I just was wondering if that was Bonnie in the ship.
You know what? I can check that and I'll put it in the comments after.
Yeah, that works. That works.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say one thing that I did notice. I noticed in my notes, the cure for Ortega's sarcasm was Chapel's compassion.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is so true. Okay. That is so true.
I wouldn't say she put her in her place, but she was like, no, we really got to do, we got to do this for Spock, and she's like,
yeah. All right, we'll do it. My other very, very minute con in this was where was Spock's dad? Like,
well, they had a fight or something, right? What was is that canon?
If you yes, it is canon.
Okay.
Because when you look at Journey to Babel, okay, Kirk even says to him, would you like to go down and visit your parents? Ambassador Sarek and his wife are my parents. And we find out that they hadn't spoken in years. So this is that.
This is the start of that. Okay.
Right. It actually started back in Discovery, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh wow, good call, that guy.
Yeah,
that's very good. Because I was like, oh, where's Spock's at? Because that actor, and like just so everybody knows, Navia is one of the sci-fi queens. There's 3 of them. Navia, Nita, and Annie. And one of the shows that they did threw me back to, oh wow, I'm a teenager, well, in my 30s again, watching Fringe. And ever since they did an episode on the women of Fringe, I've been going back to watch Fringe. And then like the 5th episode is Sarek from the Discovery era. So I was like, oh, I wonder if Sarek is going to show up. And then he didn't show up. I was like, oh, wah, wah, wah.
Is the lady who played Amanda in this episode the same Amanda from Discovery?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. She looked a little bit different. Like that's why I was like so confused.
Bernadette definitely did something with her costume.
Oh, I thought she maybe. Like, I'm not gonna guess, but okay.
Yeah. Claudia Alec just seconding that entire piece that the chief said. So you are seconded in the comments. We'll get to the comments in a brief moment. There's a lot of hellos and there's a lot of things to say, but it's time to fire at will.
Fire at will.
This is our moment where we could just talk about anything Star Trek related. And one of the big things that's Star Trek related this week is probably going to delay season 3. And that is the big actors strike. Joining the writers, striking, crossing that picket line would be a no-no. It is unbelievable that we're experiencing both a writers and actor strike at the same time.
But the last time this happened was 1960.
Wow.
Yep. So it's been 63 years since. And from what I understand,
progress.
Well, from what I understand, the next contract that's up is the Directors Guild.
Oh, geez.
So yeah. So if if Netflix and everybody else doesn't start paying up, Hollywood is at a standstill now. Imagine what's going to happen when you try and tax our whiskey and the directors go on strike.
Yeah, we are in uncharted territory, and it is baffling. Let me tell you. Nabi, are you frozen?
Yes,
yep,
she is.
She's frozen.
Okay.
All right. Well, she'll be back for sure.
I've no. Well, Joe, did you happen to get some good news last week about a possible away mission?
Indeed, I will be going to, because thanks to you, my friend, I will be going to Star Trek Las Vegas for the first time in my life. So I'm super excited about that. Navi will pop back in shortly. But yeah, I'm super excited to go to Star Trek Las Vegas and hang out with you, my chief. It'll be a lot of fun. You can show me the ropes. It'll be my second time in Vegas, period.
This will be my first STLV.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We've never been. Honestly, I've always preferred smaller conventions. From what I understand, there's about they estimate usually about 5,000 people.
Wow.
In the Rio.
Wow.
Now, we've been on the Star Trek cruise. My wife and I have been on the Star Trek cruise 3 times.
Yeah.
And that boat holds about 3,000 people.
Ooh.
And that boat is a hell of a lot bigger than the Rio.
Yeah.
So that is just way too people-y for me.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things. It's a bucket list thing. You know, like New Year's Eve in Times Square, Mardi Gras in New Orleans, Halloween in Salem. It's one of those things you have to do at a certain time of year. So it's a bucket list thing. And for reasons Faith couldn't go, and
in beams the captain. Thank you so much. So we're going to say hi to the folks in the comment section because we were firing at Will and Ernesto. I appreciate it so much. I am so excited, and I'm ready to.
We're going to have a great time, pal.
Absolutely. So let's go and say hi. We've got Feel better and get well soon to Nita, who's a little bit under the weather. She's got a big day tomorrow, so be sure to join us at 8 o'clock for the Sci-Fi Queens. They're talking to an artist in sci-fi. It's going to be a very good episode. We got Bill the Asian Pirate, who's saying greetings, Vulcans and Cardassians. Not Cardassians, but Cardassians. We've got my mom. Hi, Cosmic Mom.
Hi, Joe's mom.
Yeah. And then my mom wanted to share that she still has a crush on John Delancey. And
most women wouldn't blame you, Mom.
Nope. We've got our buddy Nita saying he doesn't need a license. He's Lord Supreme regarding to Teddy. So let's see. This is the first episode of the season I thoroughly enjoyed. Oh, wow. Interesting. United Federation of Planets. Let's see. Oh, we've got my good buddy Sour Cream and Onion to Pringles. Now, I think you know this guy, Trek Untold. He was at the Trek Long Island. It is so good to see you, my friend Matt. We had him on Off the Shelf, a great episode, so please be sure to watch that. And check out Trek Untold. There's a lot of great interviews there. We've got, save Star Trek Prodigy. It's super important. We really hope that has a good landing in somewhere very nice. Anita brings up a good point. What was that alien race? Their names were colors. I love that about them. That was cool.
That really was cool. One of the other notes that I took, considering the way they designed the subspace rupture, could the Kurhoff, could they be another version of the wormhole aliens from DS9?
Wow, competitive wormhole aliens. That is interesting. That's a good point. Could be. It's not that the Vulcans don't feel, it's that they feel too much. And hello, Sarah Andrews. Yes, that is very true.
Yes. Spock has said that on a number of occasions.
Yeah.
That Vulcans do indeed have emotions, and again, Vulcan pride. There's apparently stronger and more intense than human emotions, which is why when Spock became human, he kept using the word different.
Yeah.
These emotions are different.
Yeah. There she goes.
And there she is.
What happened?
Technical difficulties. It's the heat. I blame the heat. I'm sure it's hot there. Well, we're still in Fire at Will. So we're talking about everything. We were talking about the writer's strike. And now we're getting into the comments. So you left us, but you returned right in time gracefully.
Okay, great.
All right. And then I love this comment, reminding me of like a Karen and the embarrassed husband. He's talking about Spock's parents. Yeah, Space Karen. Yes. Two Space Karens. Let's see. So other people have seen Moonlighting. Sarah Andrews has seen it.
Thank you, Sarah.
Yes. And then, of course, corporate customer service, like an actual customer service, is very unhelpful. That is spot on. Yeah, those. No, you can't. We can't do anything because you didn't file the complaint. Wait a minute. How am I supposed to know to do that? I've never seen you before. Oh man. And then Nita brings up a very good point. His mom knew there was something wrong, and we were talking about Spock's mom because when he came in with that beanie, it was like, wait a minute. Since when are you from South Los Angeles with that beanie? Like, it's hot on this ship. Why are you wearing that?
You know why he wore that?
To hide the
TOS. Yeah. Every time Spock had to hide the ears, he put on a beanie.
Oh, wow. There it is. And so now there's a new thing that's going on in our group. But Spock does love to pring. Or is it out of obligation to Vulcan tradition that he is marrying?
That is a great
question. Yeah,
that is a great question. Nivea, as our resident lady, let's hear your opinion on that.
I don't think he loves her. I think he's doing it out of obligation because he wants to be connected to his Vulcan side, and I think he is cool. We can be friends, and I don't have to be emotional about it, and that's why he's so conflicted between Nurse Chapel and T'Pring, because he actually feels stuff for T'Pring, and he's like, Nurse Chapel, and he's like, this is weird.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, great question.
Joe, as a married man, same question. Do you think that Spock is just doing, in this arranged marriage? Let's face it, it is an arranged marriage.
Yeah.
Is he following through with it to be the dutiful son, or does he actually really connect with this woman?
I would assume that they actually have some type of connection, because she did, like, there was a couple of times she came out of herself to kind of defend Spock in this. So I do think that she has a connection to Spock.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? But does Spock have a connection to her? That's the question.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And sometimes I feel like, yeah, definitely. Or does he more like, I am half human. I'm human over there. I like that gray hair that she's got going on. So I
think it's blonde, Joe. I don't think it's
blonde.
gray.
All right. I should have put my glasses on.
It's Marilyn Monroe platinum blonde.
It's platinum blonde. Okay. There it is. And the other thing I was talking about in the group is the colors. So, hi, I'm yellow. No, you're blue. So it could get confusing. Yellow blue is Anjuni Kane. And Nita, of course, is going to change her name to Pink. So from now on, we're going to call Nita Pink. Hi, Pink.
I think a certain singer might have an issue with that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
you're right. Yeah,
we can't get sued. We don't have that kind of money. Sorry, Nita. You're going to have to be
Not
Nita.
yet.
Not yet. Yeah, we don't have that money yet. And of course, the aliens were not Bonnie. So thanks for.
Okay, it wasn't Bonnie. Thank you, Sarah.
Bonnie. Yeah, Sarah's on point with that. And then this is the following a mission on the Enterprise where Spock helped save Sarek's life. Father and son are reconciled in the episode Journey to Babel, which is what we were talking about. And that was the first appearance of Mark Leonard playing Sarek. And that is 100% cool. Thank you, Claudia. She really nails a lot of stuff here. Spock has a real complicated feelings with his family members.
Yeah.
Dad, sister, brother. What sister? What brother?
Yeah.
There is a lot. So, and then we were talking about doves. Here's the Mrs. Dove saying hello. Nice to see you, my love. And it's kind of too late, Mom. Sorry. when I'm in Vegas. All right. Yeah, sure. I'll do that.
Yeah, when we're in Vegas.
He'll be there, right?
Anything for Mom. Mom wants something. We got it. You got it, Mom.
Hey, it's our good buddy, Admiral's Funniest Frontier. Hi, y'all. Just found season 3 and 4 of TNG at Football and made it back in time for the podcast. Oh, so good to see you. And thanks for making it, my good friend. That's why maybe T'Pring's parents were flustered. Maybe. Because it's sort of a whole arranged thing.
True. And supposedly it was Sarek and Sevek who arranged the marriage to begin with. So I'm thinking that T'Pril she's just that kind of, T'Pril, excuse me. She's just that kind of, okay, we're using the word Karen, so let's keep with that. She's just that kind of Karen to Karen.
Yeah.
Who, she wouldn't want one of those people in her family.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was also a great metaphor for biracial people.
Oh, yes.
Very
true. Very true. Yeah. Also worth noting that the nasal suppressant in humans having an offensive odor is a callback to the Enterprise T'Pol would complain about. Yes. There's a lot of good callbacks in this episode for sure.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Strange New Worlds is right up there with
Lower Decks.
With Lower Decks as far as throwing out the Easter eggs, and I'm loving it.
And then our good buddy Admiral's Funniest Frontier says, I think Spock doesn't know what he actually wants. I'm pretty sure that I agree with that.
Oh, yeah.
All certainty.
Yeah.
All right. With that, I am going to have us roll to a commercial.
Check and mate, my young friend.
We're doing picture in picture this week because Chase didn't.
How about another challenge? You want to play a round of golf at the club and get some lunch? Whoever gets to the club last buys lunch.
Stand by to have your wallet emptied by a tractor beam.
Anything's possible, but probably not that.
the earth in the land of Shire, there's a brave little hobbit whom we all admire. Long wooden pipe, fuzzy woolen toes. Lives in a hobbit hole, and everybody knows him. Bilbo. Bilbo Baggins, the bravest little hobbit of them all. Yeah. Go, Bilbo!
Call Leonard.
Go.
Hey, where are you?
Use your sensors.
No need. I'm already here.
You're there already? I feel like I'm stuck in a black hole.
No worries, I can practice my swing if you need to pull over and take a nap.
Smart ass. I have been, and always shall be, your friend.
Really?
I had.
Nice try, you wish.
No, I definitely had.
Not for a second. Obviously, you're buying lunch.
Technically, we're not inside yet. I'll see you inside.
So that was one
God.
of the awesome. I think that was a what do you call it? A Super Bowl commercial.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's good.
Wasn't even a commercial because Zach Quinto had an Audi and Nimoy had a Mercedes.
Had a Merc, yeah.
Yeah. But it was to show you like how much space you get in the new Audi because that's what it was, an Audi commercial.
Oh yeah.
It was their big Audi, and that's their main competitor is the other one.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna
bring that up. I just one quick story, if I may, just because you made me think of this. Obviously, Zach Quinto had interactions with Leonard Nimoy. Faith and I actually met Ethan Peck on Cruise 4. We had a great, very quick, accidental interaction with him on deck. And I had asked him if Adam or any of the Nimoy family reached out to him. And he was like, no. And Faith just was like, oh, you're so much better than Zachary Quinto. They were probably embarrassed.
Oh, wow.
And he kind of blushed a little bit. So
wow, that's a neat little story.
Yeah, I completely agree with that sentiment, by the way.
Yeah. Well, while we have him in the room, I want to do our fun shout out that we do based off of the hashtag that has blown up pretty good, and that is the No Toxic Trek. We celebrate somebody in the fandom today, and that person could be you.
It's time we celebrate another awesome Star Trek fan.
So when we celebrate awesome Star Trek fans, it's not about how many people that they have following them. Otherwise, you'd just be celebrating Jason Roy Gaston every week because he has the most. We are doing this to just celebrate people that live and breathe and embody the will of peace and unity that is Star Trek. And I am going to have to bring up the great unifier himself, and that's the famous Dex Lower, also known as Admiral's Frontiest Frontier. Buddy, let's give you a round of applause because you embody that togetherness. You have shown every week that you not only just love the fandom that is Star Trek, but you love the people that love the fandom. You bring so many people together on so many different social medias, and I wouldn't know as many people as I do in the fandom now if it wasn't for you. And many people have had this same experience. I was doing a timeline search this week, and I noticed that he celebrated 3 years on Twitter and 1 year on Instagram. And so many people were like, oh, if it wasn't for you, I would have never found this person. Somebody met their wife through him. So this guy is the embodiment of connection. And we really appreciate you every week and every day and doing all those wonderful things. You are really amazing and such a great fan into the fandom. And really, people, if you don't follow him, be sure you go follow him. You can find all of his socials as Dex Lower. Dude is amazing, and we share the same name, so good on you. But that had nothing to do with it. It is your connection and your love of the fandom, and we really appreciate that. And now we are going to go into the other favorite segment of Jace's, and that is
It's time for stupid Star Trek questions.
Yes, this is the segment of the show where we go into the silliest of silly comments that we get on social medias for your questions for us to stump or answer here on the show. And this week we got one from Cosmic Mom. Super Star Trek question. How did the Enterprise women keep those nerdy skirts from riding up when the ship was attacked? All right, so Navia, since you're the registered fashionista, even though I work in fashion, you always notice the fashion sense of the ship. So I'm gonna throw this to you first.
Were they not wearing shorts or something? Because I swear, like Uhura, she looks like she's wearing shorts under that. Is that not true at all? Did anyone else notice that? I don't know. I don't know if you two should be looking at that, but that's why it's quiet. I don't know. I just figure they're always wearing shorts or something. I don't know.
Chief?
Well, if you're talking about those old scientists, they didn't keep them from riding up. How many times Uhura's behind was one of the first ones I noticed on TV.
So it doesn't happen.
They were wearing not necessarily like bike shorts, but they were wearing
there was something,
like over panty.
Yeah.
I don't know what it would be called. Obviously, I'm straight because I don't know what that would be called.
Yeah.
But
we have one answer.
As someone who wears a kilt on as often as I can, I can tell you that that is a hazard for travel.
One person, Aaron Sugar, said they had briefs that matched the uniform color.
Briefs, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, well said, well said. And then Nita says double-sided tape. That's how they use it. They just stuck it down there. They're good to go. Well said.
Ask Denise Crosby about double-sided tape.
Yeah, very true, very true. And then Admiral Farnese Frontier says, "Thank you, my friends. I really appreciate you doing that. Of course, Admiral, you're the best. We appreciate you greatly." And with that, we are pretty much all wrapped up. Is there anything you guys want to talk about? Starting with the Chief and then Navia, please talk about tomorrow's show.
As far as I was concerned, this was a great episode. I really enjoyed it, especially after last week. One thing I'm glad we did touch on the beanie because now it's canon.
Yeah.
And now we know where he got it from.
And now I want one. It looks so cool.
No, they better start selling that. They better start selling the beanie with the Delta on it.
You can buy a mug with a Delta on it from our merch store.
Great plug.
Yeah, there you go.
One thing that I did notice we were discussing earlier about Spock's emotions. Did anyone else notice that look that he gave La'an and then all of a sudden said, "Now I'm embarrassed"?
Yeah.
So, it didn't really surprise me how this episode ended. Yeah. And by the way, any woman who just tells you shut up and kisses you, she's super.
That's a winner. Winner. All right, Navia.
Everything Ernesto said, I totally agree. Thought this was a good episode. You guys mentioned that there were a whole bunch of negative comments earlier when we were talking, and I can't wait to see what those are because I want to see what people are saying because I thought this was a solid episode.
Yeah, me too.
All the negative comments I saw were in another podcast's Discord. So I'm not sure. So I doubt they're readily available. Okay. But
I'm sure there's trolls everywhere. I'm sure we'll find them.
There's always.
I'm sure. I was gonna say they're probably not on Threads yet, but I'm sure they'll be on.
Yeah, they'll be there.
No, yeah, they're happily, angrily in Twitter.
Yeah.
Hating all types of minorities and LGBTQs for some reason. They just love jumping on the wrong thing. It's like, really, dude, like do something else with your life. Like, there's one of our show regulars in the comments is a guy named John Daranowski, and he has this hilarious like TikTok about people like that. I don't know if you've seen it. Yeah, you must have seen it.
Yes.
Oh, you've seen it too? Oh,
I'm obsessed with those. I love when he does that.
Yeah, because sometimes I'll be scrolling and I'll end up like on a Joe Rogan feed because I really like when he interviews Neil deGrasse Tyson. And then I'll get another one that's like, I put away all my sexual prowess because God tells me. And then it goes, oh, another one. And then it just goes to that whole thing. I'm like, John. So, yeah. All right. And then tomorrow you have something going on, Navia. Tell everybody what's going on tomorrow.
Yeah, so Sci-Fi Queens are back Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern on Spectrum. We're going to be talking to Jenny Johnson, who is I think she's pretty famous. She does a whole bunch of science fiction artwork, and she's on TikTok and Instagram. So if you guys join us, you'll hopefully get to be in on a very fun conversation.
That's right. It will definitely be fun, for sure. And then this weekend, we are, this Saturday, we have the ever fun Funko Box Queen, and she's joining us on Off the Shelf, where she is showing one of her several of her 600 massive Funko Pop collection.
Wow.
Yeah. It's going to be quite an interesting preview to see all those Funko Pops. And before we head out, I just want to remind everybody that the Stephanie Zhavatsky interview is still available here on the channel. So if you haven't seen that, please go check that out. We have a great time talking with Steph. She's an amazing actress and an amazing person. You've seen her in Doom Patrol, Star Trek Picard as Tavine, as we stated, but she was also China in Young Rock and a lot of wonderful, wonderful roles in her career. So please be sure to check that out and give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and share this with your friends and be sure to subscribe. All right, that is going to do it for this week of the Captain's Quadrant. We really appreciate you hanging out, and we'll see you next week. Check out SpectrumSanctorum.net for all of our podcast merch. We have an entire merch store ready to give you all the things that you loved about our podcast. And get notified on all of our socials, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and our Spectrum Sanctorum merch store. Follow us today and be sure to hit that bell when you're watching our YouTube videos so you can be notified of when a new episode releases.